Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Face shave time. I've just done my head shave. I'm using the same products for my face shave, well, other than the head blade, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now the soap came in a little sample. Obviously I'll have the main label or the picture of the soap on the front page, but Ethos Succes. Now this came in a little tub. There's quite a fair bit of soap in it. Came from Alan all the way from Canada. It's an American company. It's expensive. I think it's about $30 to $40 American for a tub of soap. That's really expensive. That's like Martin de Condra sort of prices, I think. And this is a softer soap, but it works well, you know. My skin feels lovely on my head. I am sweating a bit, it's a little bit hot today. And the smell is just fantastic. It's filled up the whole bathroom, the scent. Now I've got this in my Frank shaving bowl. I don't normally bowl, you don't know the bowl lather or use a bowl at all. So Frank shaving bowl here, it's got the logo just on the front there. Not the best of bowls, I'm not really a fan of these. New Captain's Choice have just released a new one. If you want to head over to Wet the Face with Don Young now, I don't know what it's called, but the Captain's Choice bowl with spikes in it for putting hard pucks on, like Mitchell's Wool Fat or Edwin Jagger, anything with a hard puck. It's got 3 spikes that hold it solid. Fantastic idea, I don't know why it hasn't been done before. Right, now, I've already used the brush for my head shave, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dip it in the water and go back into the bowl. And just sort of reload the knot. And then I'll finish off on the face. I just cannot, with this bowl, get enough lather to sort of whip up in the bowl to have a shave with, I don't think, without making copious amounts of mess. God, that scent. Creed Aventus. If you didn't watch the head shave, this smells of Creed Aventus. It's very, very close to that scent. It's got that smoky pineapple. It's just beautiful. I mean, given that it's a soap, it is sort of one-dimensional, but you're getting more than one scent, even though I said one-dimensional. You can smell it's like smoked pineapple, so that is the sort of one dimension of it. It does have a cologne type thing to it, but that's because it has that Creed Aventus sort of DNA floating through it. Right, there's the brush loaded. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scoop out as much of this as I can. There's probably loads of lumps of soap in it because it is a sample, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to rinse out the bowl. Just do that now and it's done. Just fill it with some warm water, swirl it around. And it should be, yeah, that's pretty good I think. I'm just going to push that soap down a little bit. There we go. That's what's left of the sample. I'll probably get tomorrow and Wednesday's face shave out of that, and then I'll move on to the next sample next week. Right, so here we go. The brush is loaded. It's probably overloaded, but that's okay. It's better to be overloaded than underloaded. Using the Chisel and Hound brush with a synthetic knot, pretty much like a black wool for a tuxedo. It's a really nice knot. I thought the loft was too low. I thought it wouldn't splay very easily, but as you can see, it splays absolutely fine. I do have I got a little spot in there last week from shaving, and it's been causing me all sorts of grief because it's right in the crack of my mouth. So as I'm opening up to eat apples or anything, it splits open, so it doesn't heal very well. Right, I'm just going to dip the tips and paint some water in. And let's see what we can do with this lather. Got a nice curry in the slow cooker. I've just heard the washing machine go, the washing's done. When the wife gets home and the kids get home, there'll be a lovely chicken curry. It's already warm. So we add some more water. Now my plan was to use the Razor-Rock Lupo today, but I am finding it, because I'm not used to sort of efficient or aggressive razors, and it does have a lot of blade feel in comparison to what I'm used to. Very used to the Karve, the Christopher Bradley and the Overlander. So for me to have a bit of blade feel now is quite uncomfortable really, if I'm honest. When I first started my channel I went through all those sort of things, the Futur, the R41, you know, lots of aggressive and efficient razors, the Fatip, you know, and in the end I was doing it really just to sort of build the channel up, get views, you know, use the most aggressive razors and people come and watch it, and it's true they do come and watch it, but in the end the reason I really came over to traditional wet shaving was to try and find some sort of joy in a really, what is for most men, an everyday shit task that you really don't want to do. That is a pretty delicious lather. It's reasonably low density, but because I've got so much hair on my face, as I've explained before, for whatever reason, I cannot build a massive lather on it. It just doesn't work without adding copious amounts of soap and spending a long time. So here we go, the Karve Overlander, which I've just used on my head, so it's a little bit dirty. Fantastic razor, aluminium, the coating on it is impeccable, the finish on it is impeccable. It is literally a pristine razor without a single mark on it. There's no machining marks, nothing. It's phenomenal, and it shaves as good as it looks. So here we go. I've got well, this is technically the fourth use. Gillette Nacet blade in here. As always, it's pretty much a zero prep shave. I'll be having my shower after this. And the reason I'm using the Overlander today, if I didn't mention it earlier, I'm not in a rush, but I've got things to do before I get to work. So I just want to make sure I leave enough time to do that, and if I spend far too long on a shave, if I shave off camera, it's generally fine. But because I'm on camera, it takes me a little bit longer because I talk a lot of shit when I'm on the camera. So there we go. First pass done. Take most of it off. Oh, this scent's exquisite. So Classic 24 from Wickham, so has always been my favourite Creed Aventus scent in terms of soap. And it's a fantastic fantastic performing soap as well, Wickham. However, this just smells better. This just smells exquisite. This one is very close to Creed Aventus. Classic 24 was the closest I had smelled in terms of soaps before. This is closer. And the performance is still very nice. Yeah, there's loads of slickness. You can see this razor just cleans out, bang, just in the water shake done. And because it's aluminium, and I know it's not, razors aren't really that heavy anyway, but there will be people out there that struggle, you know, people maybe with arthritis, issues with their wrists and arms, or weak wrists and things like that. These are so light, aluminium razors. And really, whether they're light or not, I find it so much easier to control the pressure on my skin. So I can shave quickly with this razor, knowing that I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my skin and causing more issues than I have to. The performance on this soap is excellent. So far, I don't think there's any blood, so that's a good thing. I will get weepers under here against the grain. However, maybe I won't. Maybe this will prove me wrong, this soap. I thought I would have opened this up on my lip, but not yet. Maybe on this pass. I haven't used a product in a long time that's made me think, oh, I wish I had this. Well, I wish I had this. It smells absolutely amazing. The EDP that comes with it as well, I don't know whether it smells as good as this, but if it does, then the EDP will be fantastic, and they've got quite a few other bits and pieces that come along in this scent. Smooth as this razor. Honestly, it's just incredible. I mean, you can see the hair in the lather, it's just peeling whatever's left off easily. Right, against the grain, let's see how this soap gives me slickness. I tell you what. This soap is a bit of a performer. I am very impressed. So I'm just going to leave that like that for a minute. I'm going to clean everything up. I'm not going to rinse my face yet. I just want to leave this on my skin so that we can see how many weepers I get, if I get any at all. I always get loads under my chin here. Shave's done, it's close, I'm very, very close in fact. I don't feel like I'm going to have any irritation. This, I think, is an ingrown hair, and I will tackle it eventually. I think it's just quite a deep one, so I sort of have a little go at it every few days as my hair grows out, to try and get closer and closer to the surface before it becomes a major issue. It's been a long time since I've had a completely blood-free shave, and it doesn't bother me. It's not like it's an irritation blood, it's just little weepers. You wash them off, they rinse away, and I'm not left with any redness or soreness. I'm just clipping the base of the hair follicle where it comes out of the skin, I think, and it just causes you a little bit of blood. So it's nothing major to worry about. Right. All the soap's out of the brush. Yeah, very, very impressed with this soap. That's definitely top tier soap. You know, it's expensive. Sometimes you get what you pay for a lot of the time. In terms of latherability, I'm not quite sure whether it's up there with Ariana and Evans and Barrister and Mann, but I'll see how it goes obviously on a daily shave tomorrow and see how it sort of turns out. Whether I record it or not will be a different matter. God, the scent's just phenomenal. Right. Not a single spot of blood. I didn't even cut this open, that's amazing. And my skin just feels great. I'm just going to rinse this off now, see what it feels like with the soap off. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Ethos Succes. Creed Aventus scent with Creed Aventus quality built into it. It's just fantastic. It's slick, it's protective, it's obviously got something going on for it that's given me that amount of slickness that I've been able to shave against the grain with no irritation and no blood. That's amazing. I'm just blown away. And on my head, which I shaved beforehand, it's just the moisturisation is incredible. And once again, actually, now that I think on it, not a single spot of blood on my head either. I may have found a very, very good soap here, and I may have to try and get my hands on it, in all honesty. I'm very, very impressed with it. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, that was Ethos, which I put in the Frank shaving bowl. There's a little bit left in there, that'll do me a couple of shaves I think. Chisel and Hound brush, sent over from Alan as well. The Karve Overlander, which for me is just out of this world. It's an exquisite shaver, and when you pair it with something like this, so you really cannot go wrong. Wow, just blown away, blown away. That's me done and dusted. Thanks again, Alan, for sending the brush over and sending these samples over. It's a soap I'd never heard of. I'm glad to have used it now, and I'm really looking forward to the others. I've got Lavender, Dragon Beard and Chill Green Fresh, which all smell great as well, even the lavender, which I do like lavender soaps. It's quite a calming, soothing tortoise scent, and I do like that every now and then. Life can get a little bit hectic, and sometimes, I didn't say wife, I said life. I think I thought wife at the same time. But the lavender one will hopefully, when I'm having one of those days, just bring me back down. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.